This is Hit and Run.
Oh, yeah, you know the rules. Well, I mean, what would a Football Friday be without a hit and run? Now, I'm going to give you quick hits, things that are on my mind, maybe not a whole segment of thoughts on each of these items, but enough to make you think over the weekend. So we start off with this one. The group of people that burglarized the home of Joe Burrow are morons. Because after they burglarized home all of his gaudy jewelry and the diamonds and the money and stuff like that, they then proceed to put it on social media, which leads law enforcement to actually find out who they are. I mean, if you make the score, you break into the guy's home, you steal all of his valuables, you just go your way, don't brag about it, and cash in. I mean, that's how real thieves work. They don't want any kind of glory. That's what got Henry Hill in the end. Bottom line is, you just take it and run, cash out. Instead, they want to have the fame on social media. They're actually wearing his jewelry, showing the $100 bills that they took out of his house. And you know what? They got caught. Real geniuses. Real geniuses. John Denton is a writer who covers the St. Louis Cardinals. And he said that the Cardinals have re-engaged with the Yankees about Nolan Arenado. Now, I've been saying this for a while. A lot of Yankee fans don't agree with me, and I don't think the Yankees agree with me. I know that Nolan Arenado is not the same player that he used to be. But I'm sorry. 6 days and Sunday, Nolan Arenado, who's just a year older than Aaron Judge, just a year older, 6 days and Sunday, he's better than any of the three guys they're considering to play third base for the Yankees. He just is. He's an exquisite defender. I know he has 3 years left on his contract at pretty decent money. The Cardinals are desperate to get rid of him, and they're going to have to eat money. They know that. So here's the deal, everybody. You trade Marcus Stroman and his $18 million to the Cardinals. That defrays $18 million of the money owed to Arenado. And then you take care of the other 2 years where the Cardinals eat some of that money. That's all there is to it. Nice and easy. He's better than DJ LeMahieu. He's better than Oswaldo Cabrera. And he is better than Oswald Peraza. Simply put, he's better. And he makes the Yankees better. Is this deal going to get done? I don't think the Yankees feel about him the way I feel about him. Again, they see the drop in the metrics. I understand. You mean to tell me, let's all be honest here, let's all be adults. You mean to tell me that Arenado would not outperform DJ LeMahieu? And that's another way to think. If you want us to take Arenado, you've got to take Stroman's $18 million, and you have to take DJ LeMahieu's $15. So that way you're getting rid of the $30 million that you owe DJ LeMahieu over the last 2 years, the $18. So that's $48 million. I think Arenado was owed like $75 million over the last 3 years. Boom. There's their concession. You get rid of two albatross contracts for the Yankees that aren't going to do anything for them this year, and you get yourself a serviceable third baseman. Is he the guy that he used to be? No, he's not. But only a couple of years ago, he was a 7.7 WAR player. He has not gone down that much. And I know that he could field the position better than anybody the Yankees put out there. Anybody. Speaking of third baseman, Brian Cashman was on the Hot Stove Show on Yes yesterday. And he was interviewed by me, and he was interviewed by Bob Lorenz. And when you interview Brian Cashman, you're going to get the truth. I mean, he's going to take a while to get there, but you are going to get the truth. He is a truth teller, whether you like it or not. And what he did was he completely set fire to Gleyber Torres. Because he said straight out to me and Bob, and it's online if you want to read it. It's on social media if you want to hear it. He said, when we got Jazz Chisholm, we got him to play second base. Aaron Boone had other ideas. And Aaron Boone wanted to keep Gleyber, wanted us to play Jazz Chisholm. And then he went deeper into it. Not that Boone wanted to do that, but Boone knew he had a problem on his hands because they floated the idea to Gleyber about moving to third base, and Gleyber refused to do it. Refused. So when you wonder, Yankee fans, why, in fact, the Yankees did not bring back Gleyber Torres for 1 year at $15 million and why he's playing for the Tigers, there it is. They don't think he's a great second baseman. They would rather have had him at third. He refused to do that. So the Yankees want Chisholm at second. So there was no way for Gleyber to come back. Now, Gleyber was informed of what was said by Cashman. And he sent this out on X and said, we're still at this? And he said, like, turn the page, something like that. So Gleyber's upset, but what's he upset at? If he said he didn't want to make the switch, he didn't want to make the switch. Now, I'm going to defend Gleyber for a second. Gleyber is going into the final year of his contract. You think he wants to play third base? He couldn't play short. He had trouble making the throw from short. You think he wants to play third? So I understand. But then the flip side is, well, you're supposed to do what your team wants you to do. It worked out. They kept Gleyber at second base. He ended up being a great leadoff hitter for them. But, his defense did hurt them. He was not a good second baseman, and the Tigers are going to find that out. But very honest takes by Brian Cashman, and he kind of threw Gleyber under the bus. That Gleyber didn't want to make the switch. So right now, Jazz Chisholm's at third, or he's at second, and third base is up for grabs. And they could fill that hole with Arenado, but there's a chance that Arenado could end up going to the Boston Red Sox too. Remember one thing: Cardinals desperate to trade him. Ben Simmons and the Nets are arranging a buyout. And I'm a fan of Sean Marks, so I'm not piling on Sean Marks, the GM of the Nets here. But the trade of James Harden to the Sixers for Ben Simmons could go down as one of the worst trades in the history of professional sports. First of all, the Sixers gave Ben Simmons an incredible overpay. He is a pedestrian player when healthy. Great defender, can't score. He's not worth the money he makes. So he's rounding out the fifth year of a $177.2 million contract. So 297 possible games he could have played for the Nets. 297 in the time that he came over for Harden. He missed 207 of them. Listen, I can't criticize a person for being hurt, but he was always hurt. And he was hurt with the Sixers. How could you ever have made that deal? I don't care if James Harden wanted to be traded. You should have traded James Harden for the best deal that you could make, not where he wanted to end up in Philadelphia. Now, they did do that with Kevin Durant. He wanted to go to Phoenix. They got him to Phoenix, but they got 4 first-round draft picks and Mikal Bridges, and they turned Mikal Bridges into 5 first-round draft picks. That's a great deal. Ben Simmons has been an albatross on the Nets, an albatross. A player that can't stay healthy and cannot score consistently does not deserve to make over $30 million a year. He just doesn't. It's awful. An awful, awful deal. Shame on them for that. One more thing. If you want to watch a great show, a thought-provoking show, a show that will make you think for hours after you watch it, you go to Hulu and you watch Paradise. It's incredible. Sterling K. Brown is the star. Anything he's in, he makes better. They're 4 episodes in. So you can't watch it all at once unless you wait another 4 weeks. There's going to be 8 episodes in all. And it looks like there's going to be a second season. But I can't tell you what it's about because I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give it away to you. It's that special. Anything I try to describe on what it's about is going to maybe tip the scale that you might not know what's going on. So the best thing I could say is picture the world as we know it ending, but not ending. And that's as far as I'll go because I don't want to ruin it for you. Watch it. You're going to love it. Not going to like it. You're going to love it. Going to love it. 1-800-919-3776. Let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Richard in Manhattan. Always fun to talk to Richard.
Michael, nobody is talking about this salient fact about Eli. Eli Manning played in the Northeast outdoors. You cannot accumulate stats like Matt Ryan and Drew Brees and Peyton Manning indoors, dome, controlled weather. What are you kidding? Or outdoors like Phillip Rivers and Dan Fouts in the weather in San Diego. You cannot get those statistics. So again, it's not apples to apples comparison. This has nothing to do with errors. This has nothing to do with whether they threw the ball a lot or not, what they were allowed to do with the defensive backs, holding and all of that. Nothing. He played in the most difficult circumstances, environment, outdoor, cold weather football that cannot be so easily stat accumulated.
Okay, so I essentially agree with you.
You have to remember.
I essentially agree with you. But he could have played in San Diego. He got drafted by the Chargers. He could have played in the weather that Phillip Rivers enjoyed. He chose to play for the Giants. He and Archie maneuvered that trade. So you can't really have a kick coming when you could have played in the beautiful weather of San Diego. You chose not to. But that is a factor. And it was a factor with Joe Namath playing in the wind and the cold at Shea Stadium. I'm sure that held down some of his numbers as well. But the 49 people in the Skull and Bones Society that choose this, I guess they didn't take it into effect. 1-800-919-3776. Elvis in Connecticut. Elvis.
Hey, Michael. Good afternoon. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you, Elvis?
First of all, I want to say happy birthday to you because I know you're not going to be on the radio this Sunday. Happy birthday
it was last
to you.
Sunday.
I'm a big fan of you.
It was
Michael.
last Sunday.
Oh, I'm sorry. But I'm a big fan of yours, Michael. I'm just sad that I can't see you on TV because of my work schedule. I hope you get a TV program. Real quick, I know you don't have a lot of time. Two things that I want to discuss about Eli Manning. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, born and raised in the Bronx. You know, I went to school in the Bronx, fought a lot of people, Giants, and, you know, I think he does deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. First of all, 2 Super Bowls, and second of all, he beat the undefeated Patriots at that time. And I believe he was a wild card, right? The team was a wild card at that time?
Yeah, they got in both years as a wild card, yes.
Okay, that's one. Second, the DJ LeMahieu and Arenado St. Louis. I don't know what the Yankees are. I'm a big Yankee fan, a diehard Yankee fan. Again, I go to most games that I can, that I could afford. But again,
well, let me change one thing. The second Super Bowl they won the division. The first was as a wild card. Go ahead, Elvis.
Okay. I'm sorry, Mike. But again, Michael, I don't know why the Yankees are thinking about this. You get rid of Stroman. He's not going to do nothing. He's like the 6th starter right now. And again, you get rid of DJ LeMahieu, which I'm a big fan because when he was healthy, he helped us. He was, a batting title champ. But again, we got to think of what we could do now. We can't be thinking.
Well, I mean, but the problem is you're saying they should get rid of Marcus Stroman. I think they want to get rid of Marcus Stroman, but he's owed $18 million. He had a terrible second half. He didn't get into a game in the postseason. One of the series in the postseason. You know what? He wasn't even on the roster. It's going to be hard to get a team to eat a lot of the $18 million. And Brian explained it yesterday to me and Bob that and he wasn't talking specifically about Stroman. You can't trade pitchers until all the free agent pitchers are gone. You still have Nick Pivetta out there. So, I mean, if you're going to sign a pitcher and not have to give up anything in terms of player personnel other than money, you can do that first. So until they all come off the board, he's not going to be able to trade Stroman. He's just not. So it's easy to say, well, they've got to trade Stroman. And maybe the Cardinals don't want Stroman. I'm just throwing it out there in terms of what I would do, what could be done. But there's a deal there to be made. They don't want to have to pay Arenado all that money over the next 3 years. And the Yankees maybe could get out from under Stroman and get out from under LeMahieu. Maybe.